have a cardigan on. Like Bill Cosby. Ready?
Good.
What is up, Fighter and Kid Army? I was making fun of my cardigan. I look like Bill Cosby. I tried dressing up for my boy Matty here. Matty, I can't thank you enough, man.
Yeah.
Matty Matheson from Viceland's Dead Set on Life. It's one of my favorite shows.
Thanks, man.
It's
Good to be here.
yeah, it's all the way from Canada, eh?
Hey.
Hey, you like that?
I like that. It's what we say. We say A
It's
after
what we
everything.
do. Yeah,
we
it's what
say
we
A.
do. I
Yeah.
love Canada, man. So I'll give an introduction of how I found out about you is I love Viceland. Everything you do from Weedy Kid to all their shows, the Vice Sports, all of it. I don't miss anything. And I turned on, and I think you were maybe you were been doing it, but it was the first time I seen you on there, and you're kind of halfway through it, and you're sitting on the stairs talking. I think it was the one where you're making Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
But
Yeah.
remember, there's F That's Delicious with Action Brunson,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, Viceland, how many big tattooed chefs are we going to do? Like, is this his twin brother? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on here?
Yeah.
And so right away, I was a bit of a hater. I was like,
Right.
what the fuck is this, man?
I
Like,
get
not,
that.
but not because of you. I was just like, what are we doing? Like, it's not very creative. And then I was like, I'm going to switch this. And then you started saying some like funny stuff. I'm like, well, that's pretty funny. Then your shirt was off. I'm like, well, I can dig that. And then you kept going. And because my girl, she was like, what is this? And both of us, after 10 minutes, I was like, I love this guy. She's like,
Yeah.
me too. And then we just binge watched all of them. Then the next day on Fighting the Kid, I was like, there's this dude, Matty, on Viceland. And that's when the Fighting Kid Army they were blowing you up.
My Twitter just blew up one day, and I was just like I'm not a huge Twitter guy,
Yeah.
so it was just like I was like, what's going on? What's going on? And I was like, who's this Fighter and the Kid stuff? And then I checked it out, and I was just like, yo, these dudes are putting me on, and it was like in a really genuine way. So it's cool to be here.
Yeah.
And the Viceland stuff's amazing.
If you look at your background, everything, and I was reading a little bit about the Viceland and what they do, and really they take people with personalities and that people can relate to, and you want to be boys with Matty. You watch the show,
Yeah.
you want to be boys with Matty.
Yeah.
And I think what Viceland does so well is they let you be you. You could be selling used electronics. I'm going to watch the show. You just happen to be a world-class chef.
Yeah.
So it's dope.
Yeah.
So I think why people gravitate towards that is because you're in your element, you're being yourself. But with your background, how crazy is it to have this success, to have this show, to have this outreach now? Like you look on your Instagram, you have a huge following, Twitter. People in Canada, besides George St. Pierre, there's you.
There's me. It's
People are like, Matty!
JPS and me.
GPS and Matty. What's up, dog?
Yeah, I think it's just like a really organic kind of evolution. Like when I started doing stuff with Vice, it was with Munchies, right? And like I always wanted to be a part of Vice. Growing up, I worked at this restaurant in Toronto called Le Select Bistro. Across the street was the Vice used to have stores. And early 2000s, the Vice store was right across the street from the restaurant I worked at. And I was like, one of those like punk kids who worked in kitchens, and Vice was really cool. It was the magazine. It was like the magazine, right? And so like I would hang out there all the time and kind of got into Vice pretty, I loved Vice. And they never did food. It wasn't a cool thing. It wasn't anything to them. They were always about the drugs or the, crazy stories about everyone everywhere. And and like when Munchie started, I was like, yo, I want to do something with you guys. Now you guys are in my lane. Like you guys are, this is what I've been waiting for, because this is something I've never wanted to do, like mainstream stuff or anything like that. I've always been, more of an outsider, or like somebody that says like F that. And when they when they started doing the food stuff, I started blowing up my boys in Canada at Vice, and it was just like, yo, I want to do something. I want to do something. I want to do something. And they're like, okay. They're like, we got something for you. We want to do something. We're going to work on something with you. I was like, okay. And we did hangover cures. So I think that only lives like on YouTube now. But I did 3 episodes of hangover cures where I would take a chef and get them as, I can swear, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where I take a chef, get him as fucked up as possible. And then the next day, the chef would cook me a hangover cure.
Oh, cool.
So there's only 3 of them. And then we were making those shows. And then that was kind of like at the height of my absolute like insanity. And it was after I had my heart attack. And I kept drinking. I kept partying. I had this like Superman ego. And I thought I was like indestructible. No one could tell me no. No one could tell me to stop. I was just like this maniac. And then I had to stop. You had
to, right? And that's where the name Dead Set on Life comes from, right? From a Canadian band, is that right?
Yeah, like so Liam, the singer for Cancer Bats, which is the theme song
Best
to our
name
show.
Ever.
Yeah.
Cancer Bats?
Cancer Bats. Great band. Love those dudes.
I like Chemo Bats.
Yeah, Chemo Bats. That yin yang. And when I was in the hospital, Liam would come visit me like every day. A bunch of people would come and visit me, all my good friends. And Liam was writing an album at that time with Cancer Bats, and he wrote this. The album is called Dead Set on Living, and he wrote this song called Dead Set on Living. And the song on the album, we all got these tattoos because this story's kind of funny. So me and Brian Richer, a partner at our restaurant Parts and Labor, and Castor Design, he and I are huge like Husker Du fans, and we wanted to open a bar called. They have a song called Dead Set on Destruction. It's this super morose, super gnarly song. Intense. And we wanted to open up the most insane, shitty dive bar called Dead Set on Destruction.
Brilliant.
And when I was in the hospital, Brian, we were all kind of in there, a bunch of us at one time, and we're all making jokes. And we're like, I guess you're not dead set on destruction. And Liam was like, I think you're dead set on life. And it wasn't like that big moment. It wasn't like, oh, Dead Set on Life.
Yeah,
I'm going to make a TV show. And it was just like years later, right? And there's a few of us that have like DSOL tattoos. And I think, it just kind of, I didn't want to show with the stupid, like, Matty eats, Matty travels. Like, there's so many stupid food shows about traveling and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, I just want to, I want to show that a name that doesn't really have, like, it's Dead Set on Life with Matty Matheson, but it's like, I wanted to show that its name stood by its own thing and made people think a little bit. And, a lot of people still are like, you had a heart attack, you're still fat fuck, and like all this kind of stuff. And they give me kind of grief. And I'm like, well, I gave up, drinking, and you don't know how much drinking I did, and you don't know how much drugs I was doing every day.
Yeah, so you're doing the best you can do in the healthy version of you.
Yeah,
I don't like skinny chefs.
No,
you wouldn't be on the show if you're like really skinny or something like that.
If I was like some real frail.
I can't be on the show.
No,
can't eat your food.
No.
But going back to kind of the alcohol and the drugs, I saw how you were saying that. When you first moved, I think it was to Toronto, right? And you had roommates, and you guys were just doing mounds of cocaine like crazy.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of different
stories. Where's
this
self-destruction come from? Because it sounds like you were raised, for people that don't know, good family, right?
I got a great family. My parents are amazing.
You guys were a team. I think I saw quotes from you saying, yeah, we grew up a team. So most of the time when you see this kind of self-destruction or this kind of a world where you're constantly drugged or under the influence, there's some bad kind of background.
I've been trying to find out what that is,
Maybe just like to party.
I think 98% of it was I loved partying. I never went like dark. Those people who get drunk or do coke and they want to they get mean or aggressive,
break things and stuff.
Yeah, like I'd break stuff because I was having fun, but or smash stuff, or I was definitely like a dude at a bar that would at a drop of a hat, whip a pint against a wall. But I was doing it because I was just like, that's funny.
Yeah.
Rather than being like, ugh,
I hate life.
Oh, did that guy look at me?
Yeah.
And they're just like, I didn't care. And I just loved having fun.
But you were notoriously known in Canada as the party boy, right?
I think it was, I think when chefs.
from what I hear, you always took it to the next level.
I don't know what, I was just on my level.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to take it to any level. I was just I was doing my thing, and I think that I get so excited. And so I get so excited and so happy that I want to do more coke and more booze and drink. I could easily drink a bottle of whiskey, 24 beers, half a bottle of vodka, do, grams and grams of cocaine, a few ecstasies, a few grams of mushrooms, whatever I was a garbage head. I could do whatever I would do any drug put in front of me.
And still function the next day, you'd be all right?
I'd be okay. Like, at the end, I was pretty tired. I was pretty run down.
Yeah, no shit.
Like I had a long run, like I'd say about a 15-year of doing like hard drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, you're in the Hall of Fame of drugs if you last 15 years and
Yeah,
don't die.
like, and even after my heart attack, I stopped for about 3 months, and then I set up all these goals or like lines. I was just like, I'm not going to do shots. I'm only going to drink beer. I'm not going to drink hard liquor. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. But I should have just stopped, but I wasn't ready to stop.
And you have to stop on your time, right?
Yeah, I'm lucky that I didn't die, really. Like
Hell
the amount,
yeah.
I'm a big dude. I used to have these, like I'd be partying and like I would get heart palpitations all the time, and I would like put my arms up like a gorilla and like cough through them. And I'd like get these like crazy heart palpitations, and I'd like cough through these weird things happening on in my body, and then I'd just like keep shoveling drugs in my face.
That's insane, man.
So it's just like, I loved doing drugs. I loved drinking. But it's weird. I wasn't like an everyday guy. I never had alcohol at my house. I liked partying. I wasn't like one of those dudes who like woke up, cracked a beer, drank a beer. I was one of those dudes who was just like, shift's over, I'm going to drink 30 beers as
With your
fast as I
buddies,
can.
though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I was never like a isolated user or, like one of at the end I kind of was, And that's the thing, like the thing about drinking and doing drugs and all that stuff is there is a moment where all of a sudden the drugs and everything take control, actually. And after my heart attack, I had to lie. I never lied before. I was open. Like, I'd go to anybody's house and I'd do coke in front of anyone. Like, I didn't care. Like, I wasn't like
families or
No,
everything?
not families, but like if we're partying, you know how everyone goes in the washroom
Yeah,
and you're at a house party?
yeah.
I'm like, I'm at a house party. I'm going to do coke right here.
Yeah.
Get away from me.
Yeah.
I never was like hiding behind a thing or like acted like I didn't do drugs or anything like that. The heart attack changed, people's perspectives of me and stuff like that. Like, I was good friends with a lot of my dealers. They were like, I'm not selling to you. Like, you're my buddy. I don't want you to fucking die. Like, you fucked up. You're out.
Legit friends then.
Yeah, no, they're cool. Like, like there's times where like I would be at a bar and, all my friends are still doing drugs, and I'd be like, yo, I'm coming down.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, fuck off. And I'm just like, oh, you can do drugs and I can't. And
Exactly.
and then that's when I would get like, I started to get kind of hostile. I'm drunk, I want drugs and all this kind of bullshit. And things just changed. And I just started like lying, going to different bars, trying to find different dealers, go to, a little like cutty spots.
That's when you know you're an addict.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so I couldn't stop. I was lying to my wife. I was lying to my friends.
And this is before the heart attack.
This is after.
This is even after.
Yeah. Before the heart attack, I was just like good time buddy. Like no one gave a shit. Like I could do drugs every day and no one gave a shit.
So when you're sitting there in the hospital, you have this heart attack, you weren't like, God, I need to get my shit together, man.
Yes and no. Because I had, my heart attack was in my sleep. It was after a 3-day binge. I went home. I went to work, worked a Saturday night, went to bed, woke up at 6 a.m. with this like uncompromising, squishing, squeezing feeling in my chest that I've never felt before. And I was just like, this is crazy. And I wake up and, like my wife, Trish, now is next to me. And I'm like, yo, I was like, I think I think I'm going to have a heart attack. So I was like, let's go to the hospital. So like I go to it was crazy enough that I don't go to the hospital for anything, So I'm just like, I was like, I need to go to the hospital.
So she knew it was serious.
Yeah.
Worst pain you've ever had?
It was just something, it was inside. I've burned myself, I've cut myself, I'm covered in tattoos. I understand what like outer pain feels like, but it was something inside of my body that I've never felt before.
More serious.
And it was intense. And it took me about an hour and a half laying in bed being like, am I going to do this? Like, am I going to go? Because you're in denial, And so I went. And as soon as you say, like, I walked into like the hospital and they're like, I'm like, something's the matter with my heart. They're like, do you do drugs? I'm like, yep. When was the last time you did drugs? I was like, well, like I don't know, 15 hours ago. What you drank? I smoked. Yep. Let's go.
check.
Let's get it. Let's
all
get
above,
it.
lady.
Yeah, let's get
all
it. Take
above.
my
Get me in there.
Yeah, take my fucking
I'm
blood
not a
and see what's
doctor,
going
this is
on.
a heart attack, for God's sakes.
And so they took my blood. When you have a heart attack, your enzymes change in your body, so they know right away.
Oh, nice.
And so they took my blood. Within 5 minutes, I was on a gurney, and they're like, "You had a heart attack 4 hours ago," and I was just like, "So I'm cool."
So
Like, I'm good, so I can like peace out of here, you know, like, because I'm like, oh, the pain is like, I can deal with this pain, so, but like, I'm like, is it gonna happen again? Like, what's going on? And they're like, you have to stay in the hospital until your enzymes change. It takes about 5 days, and we just have to watch you and make sure that nothing else happens. So then I was in the hospital for 5 days. And they were taking my blood every 2 hours. I'm fat. You can't find any veins. I'm covered in tattoos. Yeah, man. Like, I'm getting poked like 30 times every 2 hours so they can check my blood.
Just
it was
a nurse's nightmare.
yeah, nurses. I was just like, that wasn't cool. But yeah, and then I got out. I went back to work within 10 days.
And when you say went back to work, you're in a kitchen, correct?
Yeah,
And
that's when I still cooked.
when you still cooked, but also in kitchens, that's an environment where I didn't know, and people had to educate me on this, but there's a lot of drug use and alcohol use in kitchens.
There is.
Like Anthony Bourdain talked about it, and I've heard you mention it, but there's a lot of drug use.
I think that there's a lot of drug use in our industry. I think there's a lot of drug use in anyone's industry.
agree.
You know, like I
agree.
think there's you know, lawyers, like there's no spectrum, nurses, everyone's using drugs. We're human.
Yeah.
It's the same, like we all have this condition. We don't know why we're here. We have all these questions. Everyone's broken. Everyone's had shit in their lives that has fucked them up, and they don't want to deal.
Sometimes you just want to party.
And sometimes you just want to party, like me.
Yeah.
And I think that in our industry, we magnify that because we're in the hospitality business. We're here to let you escape. We want you to have the best time of your life every time you come in our restaurant. We want you to drink the best wine, eat the best foie gras, drink the best bourbon or scotch.
Sure.
And we have all of these amazing, beautiful things to give you. And then at the end of the night, we get to give them to ourselves. And it's kind of like a snake eating its own tail, because the second I stopped drinking, I was like, oh, nothing's really stressful because I'm not hungover. And, you know, take one of the most stressful careers, you know, cooking, running restaurants. It's up there as one of the most stressful rated jobs, careers. And then put on like years of like dealing with it hungover, or drunk, or tired, or dehydrated, or confused. You're like, how many like MDMA pills did I do last night? My chemical is out of whack, man. I'm emotional. I don't know what the hell's going on. We got 150 in the book. I got like one cook doesn't show up. Fucking cook's girlfriend cheated on him. Fucking, you know, you're dealing with all these crazy things. A supplier sends you shitty fucking scallops. Yeesh. Like, you don't know like what the fuck's going on, right? And to bury yourself continuously in drugs and alcohol is so defeating, you know? And then all of a sudden I was like, I got high on the fact that I was like, oh, none of this shit's even stressful. Oh, I can just make a phone call and get better scallops. Oh, I can do this. I can talk to my cooks. If they're having a fucking bad day, I can talk to them and be genuine.
Yeah.
And talk to them and give them support mentally that they need to get ready, because I don't want you to be sad at work. You need to be performing at the best that you can be to fucking cook food for all of these people that are coming to the restaurant tonight.
Which helps you out, and that puts a better product out. And because running a kitchen, I mean, they say it's insanely stressful. So would you say that encouraged your drug use? Because you're like, all right, I'm so stressed. This is going to help me get away from that.
I think that there's you know, a lot of L's and W's, you know? Sure. And you drink because you had a shit night. You drink because you had the best night. You drink no matter what kind of night you have. You celebrate. And you're just there. Everyone's there. And, you know, you always are surrounded by buddies. You got your kitchen crew. You got your front of house. All the bartenders. You go to a different bar. Like, our industry loves each other, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're very into, like, giving. You know, we want people to have a good, like, people in the hospitality business are there because They want to make people feel good.
Yeah, they care about people.
And then your industry's there, and they understand that you just got your ass kicked all night for, 15, 12 hours. Like, imagine working for 12 hours and then partying for, 8 hours, and then, what's left in the day to sleep or do what you need to do,
But I think it's
I don't think it's... But
it's a credit to you, though, because if you didn't have your charisma and your personality and your talents as far as being a chef, most people don't make it out of that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's a lot of people, since I've become public with all of this stuff, I get a lot of messages on Facebook, on my fan page, on, it's weird to say fan page, but it's like girlfriends, boyfriends, young chefs, older chefs reach out and they're just like, how do you do it?
Yeah.
How do you balance this stuff? And it's just like, you just do it. And like, if there's anybody out there that's struggling,
yeah, they're listening.
There's a lot of people out there that are struggling and in the grips. And it's just like, there's rooms, there's people, there's phone numbers, there's people that care. People are loved. You're loved.
Yeah.
There's people out there that will love you. People feel so alone.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you can be in the biggest room, in the biggest party, having the best time of your life. And inside, you feel like you're alone.
Yeah. And you're hurting.
Yeah, and it's
that's
just
where
like
drugs come into place.
and they don't. I don't want to feel. I don't want to live. I don't want to feel. I'm fat. I'm fucking skinny. I'm ugly. I'm too beautiful. People are insane, and I think that it's put down the fog. Walk out of the fog. It's beautiful. Life is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's the hardest thing anyone's ever going to do because they have to face themselves. It's really easy to be fucking cool to everyone that you see on the street and you meet somebody and you're like, yo, what's up, man? Yeah, how you doing? I'm doing great. I'm killing it. It's like, are you?
Are you really?
Are you killing it?
Yeah.
You look weird. You got a little pee stain on your pants down there. What'd you do?
But it's tough if, like, let's say you run into someone who, maybe an Instagram friend, and you're like, hey, how you doing? And the easy thing to do is, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
If they're like, I'm all right, man. My girl last night, I'm like, oh, my God. Bro, I don't have this time, So that's where it comes from.
There's some balance in that and some tact.
Yes.
There's times when to talk about stuff and there's times when not to. But I think that... I think, our industry is one of the most beautiful and powerful industries in the world. We help people. We teach our staff. We get to use some of the best products in the world. And I think that it's so beautiful. And I think I'm part of the dark side of it, right? Like, there's so much more. And I think that the restaurant world is changing. I think it's becoming a better. It's on its way to becoming a better,
more colorful.
Yeah,
Would you help with that? Because when you think of a chef, I don't think of a tatted up dude even on his hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think. Well, it's just I'm doing just me. You know, like, I can only talk for myself, and I don't. I just love our industry so much, and I wasn't contributing the right way. I was taking too much. I was taking all this weird glory stuff and all this, taking all the alcohol, I was taking.
Yeah.
And I was still giving, but now I feel that I can give in a better way and give in a genuine way and give and be able to say shit.
You have the platform now, though.
Yeah.
Before you really didn't, right? There's more about working on yourself, and now you have a platform where so many people can see you. There's Instagram, there's Twitter, you have your show on Viceland. So there's a lot easier ways for you to share your message.
For sure. And I think that I love being so open from day one.
Yeah.
Because it's I'm still people don't know who the fuck I am, and it's just I don't whatever. I have a lot of Instagram followers. Cool. Yeah. There's so much more to life and there's so much more stuff. And it's it's really about being open, I think, and trying to, no one can get shit on me. I've told, crazy story. I'm going to drug houses. Yeah. Maybe there's some, some trannies there smoking crack and I'm partying and doing my thing. And, who's going to call, who's going to ever come and be like, oh, Matt, I kind of set myself up so no one can even fuck with me.
Hold on. Are you saying you hooked up with the trannies?
No.
Oh, you're just saying you were there.
I'm just, shout out to all the trannies out there.
Yeah, shout out to the trannies.
I love
I'm
you
not
girls.
mad at them at all either.
but
I'm sorry, I thought you were saying that. All my dirt's out there. The nights in the crack house, there's that tranny.
But I think that, I've put myself out there because that makes me feel good.
It makes you feel good, but it's also why people will tune into you. Because if you're a guy and I have nothing against the Food Network, but you went on the Food Network, and you're in the, the typical chef thing. You're covering all your tattoos, and you're doing that boring half a tablespoon of butter, and it's like, God damn it, man, that's not real. No. If there's a producer in here saying, all right, now grab the butter, Matty. Now tell them what type of butter it is. It's just this bullshit. We've seen that a million times. What people want is realness. Like, we want Matty and all your flaws, and that's why it works.
And I think that I love, why can't, when you touched on it, like Me and Action, two bigger dudes covered in tattoos. Why can't we be the norm on television? Yeah. Why does it have to be a good-looking chef in like perfect chef whites talking about, pomegranates or like
that's what some weird network set as this is what cooking should be. And then we watch Viceland. At first, you're like, what the hell is this? This guy's gonna cook, and they're like, all right, well, this guy can fucking cook. Yeah. Because when it gets down to it, there's a lot to take in. You're a colorful guy. There's a lot of personality. You're making jokes. Yeah. But then when you get down to the nitty gritty, you can cook your ass off, and that's why it's like, all right, he has credibility. The thing with Action Bronson, I love him. He's one of my favorite rappers.
He's great.
He has a great show. You guys couldn't be more opposite. As far, I mean, both big dudes, tattoos, blah blah blah, and he was a chef, but his is more of an experience, and he's having a good time. He's not breaking down ingredients. He's not cooking shit, really. He's just like, oh, damn, this is good, son. Get, lighting joints, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Joe Rogan had him on his show, and he goes, I've never seen a guy smoke, and Rogan's Mr. Weed. Yeah. And he goes, this guy smoked me under the table. And he took a picture of the ashtray, and there's like 12 blunts, because his show's 3 hours long. He said he was just toking up like crazy.
It is,
You guys can't, but the payoff to that story is you and Action Bronson, although you're on the same channel, you couldn't be any more different.
I think we both would appreciate that. Yeah. Because I think a lot of people say that we're very similar and the shows are very similar.
That's not true. I thought the same thing right when I tuned in.
Yeah, but
I was like,
exactly.
Come on, Viceland. Let's get a little mix up here. But then you watch it, and I was like, damn, this dude can cook his ass off. Then I did my research. And I was like, all right, this guy has a crazy background. And then you even did an episode where you go to your hometown and where you started at that restaurant.
Yeah,
with
Southsides.
Who's the...
Master Rang?
Yes.
Yeah, Master Rang. Man. Master Rang's cool. Master Rang is, he's my buddy.
He's a trip,
we build him up a bit. Like I'm always like, oh, he's my mentor and like all this kind of stuff. Yeah. He's like, he is like one of my best friends, and I've known him since 2003. But
he did show you like how to cook and stuff.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. When I showed up at Le Select, he was in the kitchen. He was this insanely kind of mean, nasty, sweet, Vietnamese dude cooking up amazing French bistro food. And I learned a lot from him. I learned how to like line cook. It wasn't a lot of there was like 5 people on the line during like Friday, Saturday night. You're doing like 300 covers. Yeah. And me and him just became this team, and we used to hang out a lot. We would go to he would bring me these like super sketchy like Vietnamese after hours, and like we've had a really good time. Yeah. And he's just like an amazing. I think he is an amazing guy. I'm so happy that he they asked if I knew anybody weird that I could bring, or like somebody to bring.
A character.
Yeah, they're like, do you know anyone to bring to like 40 or so we can kind of bring somebody to have a perspective of like where you come from? Yeah, and I was like, I kind of know this like weird 50-year-old Vietnamese guy that I used to cook with. His name's Rang.
And does Viceland send someone just to check it out, or they take your word for it?
They were pretty cool. Like he came in and met them.
Yeah,
he met some dudes. Yeah, like he came in and met them, and it was just like Rang is. Dude, he's been wearing the same fit. He's got that backwards, like Samuel L. Jackson hat, like freaking like splash trainers, or like like just warm up pants and like a black polo shirt.
But you watch the episode and you love that guy. You can tell there's chemistry and there's love between you two.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I think that's what's amazing about. I think it's a really good insight to the show, where it's like we're not trying to like hang out with celebrities or the best restaurants, or I think like touching back on like I think. Everyone has a story. Everyone's got a story. Everyone's interesting. If you just ask the right questions and see what they're doing.
I agree.
And I think that like everyday people, are amazing and like very interesting and great for television. People that have never been on television are like the best people for being on television.
Because they're not jaded. They're also, all they know is how to be themselves. Especially that personality. Whenever I see, like one of the reasons I reached out to you, obviously you're on TV and you're a star in Canada, and here now, but whenever I see someone like you, you have to have been through some shit to have that big of a personality. Typically,
Yeah.
to have your viewpoint on life, and just looking at you, you'd have to go through some sort of shit that people are actually going to want to hear.
No, for sure. Like I've had like a lot of crazy shit. We've moved around a lot as kids. I had to go to a lot of different schools.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but like multiple schools in elementary school. Like it's always kind of scary and crazy.
Were you big as a kid too?
Yeah, like
I'm not saying you're big.
No,
but
I was never skinny. I was never skinny. Like I was the
You're a
chubby
big-boned
brother.
kid.
Yeah, like my brothers were like skinny. I have 2 brothers and a sister. Me and my brothers are all 2 years apart. I'm in the middle of the brothers, and my older brother is skinny. He's like one of those dudes who's naturally just like kind of ripped all the time. Yeah. And then my younger brother, he's taller than me, and he's just like kind of like if I wasn't fat. So he's kind of like a bigger dude. Yeah. He's kind of we call him Grizz. Shout out to Grizz.
Shout out to Grizz.
Oh man,
Swole Grizz. What's
Grizz
up,
is the homie. Shout out to World of Warcraft.
Grizz is the homie. He's your brother, sir.
He's my homie. He is the homie.
Shout
Grizz
out
is
to the homie.
I love that guy. He's a freak.
I love that
and
guy.
Like we were, my older brother was really short.
And thicker than a Snickers, or no?
He not thick, but like wiry and tough. He was like, we used to fight a lot, I guess, as kids, or we weren't afraid to fight.
Yeah, standard.
And my brother, he was really Steve was really good at fighting, and I always thought he was like in high school. He was like the most craziest dude at the house party, and like the biggest dude. Like if a big dude like bumped into him, he would just like just one punch him.
Yeah,
or like it was just like it was this really crazy thing. Like I was always never afraid because we were like the Mathesons or something. Like I had like my younger brother was a big dude.
You had a team.
My older brother was short but crazy.
So did you grow up with ridicule and stuff because of your size, or no? You weren't like.
I don't think so. Like I think I was always pretty popular and
you weren't bullied.
Nah, I wasn't bullied. Like I was more maybe of like a weird, funny bully.
Yeah.
Like I was just like a loudmouth. I'd chirp people all day or make fun of somebody, or like I wasn't like a bully where I'd like chase people and like beat them up or like just like pick on somebody.
Sure.
Like I never had like one guy that I would always pick on.
Yeah.
But like I think that like I would like if somebody like when I got kicked out of one high school. In grade 9, some dude like bumped into me. I like followed him into like a room, grabbed him, just started like punching him, brought him outside in the hallway, and like hit his head off a sink. And
Jesus,
it's just
chef.
like, so it's just like I don't know. I had that like weird thing in me,
Yeah.
but then now I'm just like I think the last time I fought was what? I might like Trisha's like 21st or 2nd birthday at like some bar. Some dude called her a bitch, and then we like fucked these dudes up.
That's your girl, though.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's just guys doing guys.
That was a good scrap. That was like 5-on-5, like out in like Sandy Beach.
West Side
bar.
Story, son.
Yeah, it was cool.
You guys just went at it.
Yeah, we whooped these dudes.
But I mean, you can't disrespect your girl or
was
girls
her
or kids.
birthday.
Yeah.
It was
But
her
you're also a
birthday.
dad now.
Yeah, I'm
You're
dad.
also
So,
dad.
no, it's crazy being a dad. You have like this crazy instinct. I was like walking when MacArthur was born. He was, I don't know, maybe 2 months old. And
He's
were
8
like,
months now?
He's 8 months now. He's amazing. Shout out to Trishy, best mom zone. And we were like...
Best mom zone.
Best mom zone out there. She's in the zone.
Shout out to Trishy.
Shout out to my wife.
Shout out to my homie.
Shout out to my homie, the big homie, my wife. She's the best. Home birth. Shout out to all the women out there giving out home births.
Dude, your wife is a beast.
Dude.
Home birth?
Dude, she didn't even swear once. She went primal. She was like in the bed. Boom.
That's that Canadian shit, man.
Dude, Trish
Here in Hollywood, we do C-sections.
Yeah,
easy as
keep it
possible.
tight.
Yeah, keep it tight. Keep it right, son.
Hey. But the, I don't know.
I mean,
fighting's stupid. I think it's just like, it's so dangerous in public. Like some dudes in Toronto, there was like a fight, and there's dudes from the States, and they got in a fight, and one dude got fucking sucker punched, fell back, hit his head, died. Like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, you never know. It's
just like street fighting.
Scary.
Like everyone's watching like World Star. I love watching World
Me
Star.
too. Shout out to World Star.
Shout out to World Star.
Yeah.
Just watching dudes get fucking murked, man.
Just murked. The
Dude.
fight compilations every Friday.
No, it's the best.
Or like the Vine comps. I think Vine's done now. But I
just
can't
think
wait for
I just think it's funny because watching the people fight, or like the weird. I watched one the other day And it was like this, like, it was at a British pub, and these two kind of hooligans are fucking with like the door guy, and it's like daytime, and this door guy just like boom, boom, like
whoops their ass.
Yeah,
I love it.
I love that kind of stuff.
do
I love
too.
seeing like the underdog kind of
Yeah.
in that kind of stuff, seeing like dudes fucking with somebody, and I love.
Do you get a lot of that at your restaurants?
No, like our restaurants are chill. Like we do at Parts and Labor, it's a big because it's 136 seat restaurant.
And that's your restaurant, Parts and Labor.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's our baby. And then underneath Parts and Labor is the shop. So it's like 175 person like dive bar, no windows, low ceilings. It's like a basement bar.
Yeah.
And so it's like it gets really grimy. Like you put on like we got like some ignorant rap nights and like some shit like that, and like shit does pop. And
Makes
it's
sense.
like we've never had like a full on brawl. We've never had anything.
But
like,
you're not dealing with it as the owner, as the
No,
top
we
chef.
can-
You're
we
not
can-
like, all right, boys, let's get out and grab.
No,
the phone.
I don't even. No, I don't. We don't get involved.
Yeah.
I don't even go in the basement anymore. You know, like ever since like I stopped drinking, like going down in that I spent a lot of time in that basement.
I bet.
And I don't like going down there sometimes.
When you were in ninth grade, or you're jumping around, you know what I'm saying, you're in high school, you're getting kicked out. We
Yeah.
said, if someone would have told you what you're doing now, the success you would have now, would you believed it? Did you see any of this for yourself?
I think I don't. Well, no, you never know. Like I think it's super like egotistical to say something. Like you'd be like, yeah, I was gonna kill it, or like like I'm not even killing it. I'm at the beginning of this thing. And I really am grateful for everything that's happened. And I'm just like, as a kid, I think that nobody knows what they want to do. Finding that passion, I am so happy and grateful that I got to learn how to cook and that I loved it.
But was it a
And-
passion?
Absolutely. I love going to restaurants, eating at restaurants, being at my restaurant, working and doing all that stuff. Like it's like I've been out of the kitchen, I'll say openly, like a year and a half. Like
You're doing other things.
Yeah,
which
like
help grows the business.
No, for sure. And it's like I'm so open about like, are the recipes at Parts and Labor mine? Yes, they are. But am I in the kitchen cooking? No, I'm not. And it's like things change, and all of a
you
sudden,
got famous at See Ya.
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Nah, but it's like, it's all good. Like it's all this like, and I think that the kind of what I want to do is keep going and seeing what this is. Like this is an opportunity, and I want to see how far I can take it. And I think that this doesn't happen to everyone, and like everyone's like I get so many DMs about like, how did you do this? How did you transition? And I'm like, I did a bunch of stupid videos on YouTube, and I did like, like the hit was like my cheeseburger video,
Yeah.
and it just like it got 1 million views, and it's just like that's crazy, and it's just like I never like Vice could have just been like, yeah, just keep doing how tos, and then I think a tipping point was like Shane Smith. Or what I've heard is like Shane Smith saw the burger video and was just like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
And was just like, yo, let's get him doing more shit.
Yeah,
and then
drawn to you.
yeah, and I think that like, we could have done a few things, and then I could have been like, cool, that was cool, and I go back to cooking, But I think they saw an opportunity, I saw an opportunity, and now we have this amazing thing that I love, and getting to travel and eat and meet people and is such an amazing job and such an amazing thing. Like, I'm at the airport in Los Angeles, and like I took photos with maybe 6 people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is crazy to me.
LA famous is different. If you get pictures here, you're doing something right.
Yeah, and I'm like, I had this amazing, like super cute,
Can't wait to do this.
Christian family come
Really?
up. Yeah, their kids. There's 2 parents. It was crazy. I was in Nashville. 2 kids came up to me and was like, we need to get a photo with you. We love you. Did it? I'm like, cool, man. I take a photo with these kids, and then I'm in LA waiting at baggage, and 2 of these like super smiley, really like perfect looking American family parents come up to me and they're like, Matty Matheson, we love your show. I love food so much.
That's
You're
awesome.
amazing. And they're like, we got to take a photo. Our kids are going to freak that we met you. And I'm just like, oh, amazing. And we start like talking because this guy's like, okay, I don't want to be a crazy person, but I'm going to show you a bunch of food pics right now. And he's like, he brings out his phone, and I'm just like, you're just like, my dad's a freak kind of like
hilarious.
that. And he's like obsessed with the smoker, and he's like, check out this. This is a brisket. This is another brisket. This is a rib. Check this out. My barbecue weighs 700 pounds. And I'm just like, I love people that reference their barbecues by how much they weigh.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, man, this is amazing. You guys are cool. I'm like, oh, where's your kids? And they're like, oh, they're at like Christian camp. And I'm just like, oh.
Did you say Christian camp?
Excuse me? Dinosaurs don't exist, my dude? And it's just like, It's cool. Like, I don't know. You can't judge it, whatever. But they were super sweet. But then their kids come running, and they're like, yo, Matty, and they're like, we know. We took a photo with him in Nashville. And then, like, we kind of just talked and for, like, maybe, like, 15 minutes. And I thought that was really cool and, like, really genuine. And I thought, you know, like, that kind of stuff is amazing. One dude, you know, I think it's rude. Like, I was on the phone, some guy just walks up and, like, takes a selfie. And I just, like...
I'd rather him just ask.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm going to look like shit in that picture. Is there any way...
Yeah, like, my neck was doing the thing.
It'd be an honor to take a picture with you, but don't take... Oh, my eyes are closed. Like, let's just do it
let's do it. Let's take a selfie.
Let's take it like some gentlemen.
Yeah, let's be gentlemen about this. And I think that...
I'm not fucking Michael Jackson. You don't need to run by. I'm not Bieber. I'm not going to charge
I'm not even with anyone. I'm picking up my own luggage. I'm, like, crushed. Like, 6 bags rolling down the street with my luggage.
Give me a hand.
Yeah, like help out.
Help out, man.
You want to pick? Just carry this little handbag.
Let me ask you, in a perfect world, how's this story end for you? Or what would be the pinnacle? Or do you not know? Are you just going?
I don't know. I think it's like everything's happening, and I just got to be like, okay, what are the you know, I just don't want to mess up. You know,
you can't if you're self Matty. What got you to this dance is being Matty.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way.
You know, like I'm just like I don't want to mess it up, but I'm like I just have to keep being me, doing stuff like I'm like stoked that I'm even here, and it's just like, you know, I still have this like weird little small town Canadian brain where I'm just like, this is kind of crazy, and like even like, you know, like I'm just happy that I can help out, you know, like I bought my sister a fridge, you know, like stuff like that. She wanted a new fridge, and I'm like, yo, I'm going to go get this fridge. And it's just like stuff like that, you know, is so amazing. And it's just like, you know, I love my family. I love, you know, my wife's family. I love doing shit on Vice. I love cooking. It's just like
your wife deserves an award. When you read how
we've been together since high school.
I know, since high school.
Dude, she is
What is
tough.
going on here? Shout out to Matty's wife.
And I do not have a big D.
It's
perfectly mediocre.
I was gonna say that.
It's perfect.
You must be
I got
packing
heat.
a fucking Canadian log down there,
My
son.
dude, it is perfectly average.
All right,
Not an inch smaller, not an inch bigger.
Again, she deserves a statue because you're this wild dude.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're working crazy hours. You had a heart attack next to her. You know what I'm saying? You have all these tattoos. And now you guys have kids and you're married.
Yeah, she's the best. I think it's just like she is one of those people. She's got this tattoo on her thigh that says, loyal she began, loyal she'll remain.
Damn.
And she's like one of those chicks who's like, I don't know. I think she thinks we're soulmates. I don't know about the soulmate thing. I love her more than anything. But it's like she, you know, I think that she's my fucking day one, you know? She's like my real, she fucking will smash anyone that fucks with me.
She's your ride or die.
Yeah, and it's really amazing to have that, to know like 100% that she has my back. Like
it's everything.
It is. Like, and it's such an amazing thing to have that. You know, I'm lucky that I'm just like one of those lucky motherfuckers where it's just like, I got the wife, I got the kid, I got the job, I got the other job, I got the fucking, you know.
I don't chalk it up to luck. Granted, what we do, we're super fortunate. I never chalk it up to luck, though.
Well, taking opportunity.
That's the easy way out.
I think
you possess a certain amount of talent. You're obviously a beast of a chef. You're a good person. You can tell right away.
Yeah.
Like right when I came out of the car, I felt like we were boys. Like, Matty, what up, dog? Never met you ever. Yeah,
what's up, dog? My dude.
But I see people say that. Oh, Shab, you got so lucky, man. I'm like, dude, you know how hard I've been grinding?
Yeah.
I was just prepared for the opportunity when it came.
Yeah, I think I think taking the moments and turning them into things. And, you know, I'm a really strong believer. I had a chef one time saying that, like, yo, we're giving you, you know, keys. And there's going to be all these different doors. And you're going to be able to open up any door that you want if you keep holding these keys and keep these keys like clean, you know. It's just like they're giving you these tools and all this kind of shit.
Don't mess it up.
Yeah, like and it's like before I could have missed a meeting. I could have, you know, like I never want to miss a meeting. I always want to be on time. I always want to, like, you know, someone's about to give me their time. I want to respect that and be there on time. I think that it's really important to you know, give that reciprocal, you know, like someone's giving me something, I want to give it back.
Sure.
And you know, I'm a big thing about paying it forward. I think, you know, people need to, I just think right now, especially in America, shit is fucking going crazy. And it's just like people need to come together. People need to I was just in the Everglades and I was hanging out with some fucking Trump supporters. And, these people are they're such sweethearts. And then they just say something so insane.
Ignorant, I'm sure.
Yeah. And it's just you talk to some of these people and they, one guy, and this isn't a negative thing, but he's never left South Florida.
So he
and it's
have
just
a perspective.
Yeah, and it's just I think that perspective is a big thing. I get
everything.
to travel. You get to see everything. You get to, who gives a fuck what color somebody is?
Yeah.
I cannot believe that we live in a society still in this day that color of skin matters. Who you are.
It's 2016. It's about to be 2017.
And it's so sad and disheartening and disgusting that it matters who you fuck, who you love, and what color your skin is.
It'll bum
still
you out.
A thing. Yeah, and
it's almost like that show on Vice, Gaycation. Is that what it's called? Gaycation.
Yeah. It's amazing.
You watch. Yeah, it's the best. You watch that, and it's the girl from Juno.
Ellen Page.
Ellen Page. Yeah, she's ridiculous.
Yeah.
With her,
shout out to Ian.
Shout out to Ian with her partner, her best friend, who happens to also be gay, and they go around to different. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. But they go to different kind of cultures. So they go to Brazil, they go to Russia, they go all over, and they interview people. Like in Brazil, they interview this guy who he's part of this, I guess, mob that seeks out other gays or transvestites and whoops their ass or kills them. Yeah. And they're sitting down on a one-on-one interview with this guy, and it's this happens. Yeah. This is real life,
dude. I can't that kind of TV doesn't even watching it can't even justify the emotions that they're actually feeling.
They had to pretend that they're together. They couldn't say that they were.
Well, they said that they were gay at the end.
At the very end.
Yeah, but it's it's still such a strong thing and such an amazing thing that they can show that and put that into, society. These guys are confronting people that want to kill them and they're, they're making the best of it. They're putting themselves so far out there. And
well, it's more they're exposing what that exists in the world. I was
for sure.
There's a society, a group of men out there that seek out
dude,
gay,
in America,
gay people and kill in America.
There's
too.
people putting up swastikas still, all over
for
America,
sure.
and
or on the episode where they not that episode, but the other show. What's the show? It's one of my favorite. He fought rappers, music.
Noisy.
Yeah. Noisy is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Noisy when they go to Chicago and they call it Chirac.
Yeah.
I didn't know Chirac was a bad term. Right. I just thought it was Chirac. Hey, I'm hip.
Yeah.
And I was doing a live comedy show with my partner Brian at a sold-out theater in Chicago. I was like, "What's up, Chirac?" It went terrible.
Yeah.
It did not go good.
No.
But I got that from Noisy.
Yeah.
But again, going back to Noisy, when they're in Chicago and you see the issues they have and the community there saying dude, something needs to change. People are dying all the time and they got everything going on. You're just that's real life, man.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I think that Viceland, what they've done is given, shows to people that are can go into these scenarios and it may not be good, it may not be bad. It's just real people doing real stuff. We may fuck up, we may not, it's not always I think sometimes we go into something and we think it's going to be this and it goes fucking sideways, and that's okay.
That's fine.
And it's just why can't fucking I hate this term, but millennials or fucking people of my, I'm 34. And
shout out to millennials.
Shout out to 30-year-olds.
All the 30-year-old.
30
as fuck.
I'm
Me
so
and Matty, 30 as fuck. So 30.
Oh my god.
Super thirsty 30s.
30. I'm so thirsty.
So thirsty.
I'm so thirsty for fame. Give it to me. And I just think advice is I don't even get every time I shoot a new season, I'm looking to be yo, what can I do different? Or what are you guys thinking? And they're always just keep doing you. You're figuring it out. And they're just you're figuring it out. You're getting better. We're learning. We're doing this thing. And it's just it's the synergy of me and my crew and the people that we're meeting. We're all learning. All we do, we shoot something and then we get in the van and we just critique it. We're fuck, we didn't get that shot, but it's okay. And then we are learning from our mistakes. If we take another 30 minutes and ask because we try not to even like shoot something twice.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the stuff on the show is obviously shot like once.
Sure.
And it's like because I'm like I only want that initial thing. Like if I fuck it up, then I fuck it up. And
But that's
like,
natural.
Yeah, and I'm just like I don't want to do it twice because then it's contrived.
You're
if you ask that
thinking
question,
about it,
yeah,
I hear you.
But now I see that maybe ask it twice or 3 times, and you will get a better question or a better answer out of myself or somebody that I'm talking to.
Sure. So on the show, and then we'll get to fan questions because I know you gotta get out. But on the show, when you cook that delicious food, and my mouth was watering, I was so hungry. I was on a diet at the time. I'm like, God damn it.
Diet.
Yeah, terrible diet.
Diets.
Don't tell Chef that.
Diet.
I'm in LA. I'm so Hollywood now. But when you cook all that delicious food, who are the people that are trying it on the show? Those are just your family, friends, your boys?
Yeah, just like it depends. Like on the how-tos, because there's kind of like there's 2 things. I do the how-to videos and then I have Dead Set on Life.
Yes.
And so the how-to stuff is like usually just buddies. I'll like literally day of just be like, hey, I'm like got some fried chicken. Do you guys want to come eat some fried chicken?
Sign
and they're
me
just
up.
like, yeah, what's up? And then like even like with the Thanksgiving thing, I called like one buddy and he just brought 2 friends. You know, so it's just like I don't really even give a fuck. Like it's super funny. Like some of my friends are just like, I don't want to be on that.
Really?
Yeah, because it's just like fun. Like
the
'cause
delicious
there's no way to
food?
even like look cool. Like you're just sitting there eating, and like most of the time you look like an asshole.
Just like, good job, Matty.
Yeah, like it's so stupid. Like
Yeah, you're a
eating,
ridiculous chef.
eating on television is like the worst thing ever.
Not sexy.
No,
Not
it's just like,
sexy.
oh, yep. This tastes like, oh yeah, it's very well balanced. The acid, the
They don't
fat,
know what to
the
say.
salt is very good. This fried
Way to
chicken,
go,
so
Matty.
crispy. Oh, did you put thyme leaves in that fucking thing? And it's like, I don't fucking know. Like describing food, you
Boys
sound
like,
like an
yeah, it
asshole.
tastes like fucking KFC, man. I don't know.
Get the fuck away from me.
All right, brother, we had a million questions for you, so we'll start here with one. What we got? I mean, of course, everyone wants to know some of this stuff. What is Matty's worst hangover story?
My worst hangover story? I don't know. One time
Having
I
a heart
ordered.
attack's pretty rough.
That's a yeah. My
I'd
worst
say
hangover
heart
story is
attack?
when I had my heart attack.
I'd say heart attack for 5,000, Alex.
yeah, 5. There we go.
Heart attack's bad, right?
It was pretty. It was rough.
What were you gonna? Let's take away the heart attack.
I was just gonna say. I think one time I ordered like Swiss Chalet twice to my house, which is like a rotisserie chicken place in like Canada. I'm like, I had it for like breakfast and dinner. That was dark. A lot of orange crushes that that day. I don't know.
Oh man, orange crush.
Hangovers just feared out. You're just feared out.
How's your diet now? I mean, is there any diet you're just doing whatever you want? Because
My diet is no.
You're just doing your thing.
I'm trying to work on that. You know, baby, crawl, walk, run. I gave up a lot, and I'm working on some
On
stuff.
the drug side or on the food
on
side?
everything. Like I think I'm definitely. I was always around like 240, and I'm like 290. And
Right now you're 290.
yeah, I weighed myself like last week, and I was like 292.
Why a chef weighs himself? I have no idea.
I don't because I'm fat, and you know I'm.
Skinny Matty's not funny.
No, I know skinny, but 240, I'd look real good.
You're a dime piece. You're a dime piece at 240.
Oh, dude.
I call you
I'd be,
Maple
like,
Leaf
ripped.
dime piece.
I don't even have like titties really. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you don't-
I've got a big old stomach though, big old fucking.
It's
gas
tatted
tank.
up though.
Yeah, it's sick. It's
Well,
the
it-
best.
You got that kegger. You got that kegger, son. All right. Craziest thing Matty has ever eaten.
I think on this season 2, I went to Nunavut up in the Arctic, and I had like narwhal blubber, which was it was delicious. Raw. And it's like octopus, kind of like almost like eating like lardo and octopus together. It was like this little weird cube. You have a big slab. It's like black, like skin of a whale, and then there's like a weird cartilage line through it. That's kind of like a pig's ear. And then there's like fat, and then you score it and dip it in the old soy sauce.
Was it nice or no?
I liked it.
I don't like the for me texture's everything. I probably would have.
I liked it. I don't know. I'm more of a smell guy. I ate like on season 1. I ate like the bullet egg. The Filipino, like, it got a little embryo, little chicken inside the egg thing, and I ate that, and that was like funky because they
Well, that's
I
worse
didn't talk
than the
about this on the
blubber,
show.
son.
Yeah, this was wild. They overcooked it, so it was like a hard boiled fucking. It tasted like a hot farm. Like I put it in my mouth, and I was like, "This tastes like a hot farm." It's like you go into like a farm, it stinks in the summertime. Goddamn. Shout out to Filipinos, though. Love you guys.
And
You
they
guys
eat
are-
just those birds just straight up.
Dude, they love them. They dip it in like a little
bit.
bit of vinegar, a little bit of salt. It's really nice.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, but they got the longanisa sausage, don't they, though, you Filipinos?
Oh my god! All right, what do you have? What is your favorite or most memorable moment since you started the show? And second part of this, and you can answer, separately. But the second part is, if you could have one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I think the coolest place that I've ever been is, I think, Nunavut. Being up in the Arctic, being like above the tree line. It's like being on the moon. It's rock, it's snow, a little bit of like mountainage, and we took some snow machines. We went on people are gonna love this. I went on a seal hunt, and we took snow machines, and we went out on like Frobisher Bay, and we drove for like 4 hours out onto like a glacier. And I'm just like,
seems dangerous.
Yeah, nah, it's like 50 feet of ice. But it's like, you're out there, and I'm like, I've never been that isolated from anyone. 4 hours away from anyone except for me, the crew, and Jerry, our guide.
Shout out to
Jerry. He loves Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons.
Loves.
I'm not a Hortons fan.
No, it's like drink. It's like coffee drink.
Yeah,
it's weird.
But so, and is this how you hunt seals? I've never done.
You hunt seals?
Is you there's a hole in the ice.
Yeah.
And you like bait them come out and then hit them on the head.
No, you use like a 22 is the nicest way, and you just shoot them
when they come out.
Yeah, they come out to sunbathe.
Bro.
You eat meat. It's okay.
I'm not a hunter. All my boys are.
Dude, these people harvest.
I love seals.
It's they're out there harvesting for their families and doing some like shout out to seals.
Shout out to seals. Just a 22. I heard they come up for air, and you're like, oh, how you doing? Kadoosh.
Yeah, there's probably a little bit of that, but that's how you hunt them. They're in the water. They got to come out and sunbathe on the sunny days. It's really nice.
You're not gonna get them in the water.
You're not gonna get them in the water. And I think what's that? The meal? Like
one thing. Yeah. One meal for the rest of your life. Your fried chicken.
I just went
those donuts I saw were ridiculous too.
Donuts. Oh yeah, the big donuts. Yeah, they're cool. I think I just had a lovely. This is gonna be a big shout out. I just went to Arnold's in Nashville. It's like almost like a cafeteria style. You walk up, get in line, you go through, and they just got like collard greens. They got stewed beans,
sounds nice.
Cream corn, mashed potatoes. They always have like roast beef on. You get fried chicken, fried catfish.
Damn.
They got amazing desserts, and I was just like, this is like the most perfect restaurant. It's in this like just like concrete building, beautiful people that work there. But Arnold's in Nashville, I think I could eat for a long time.
Shout out to Arnold. Matty said eat it for the rest of his life.
For the rest of my life, my one meal. And then I would just like every day I'd be like, okay, today I'm going to have the fried trout. Then I'm going to have the catfish. Then I'm going to have the fried chicken. And then I'm going to...
How good is food in Nashville, though? We were just there a couple months ago, but no, I've never been. Nashville's ridiculous.
Nashville is ridiculous. They got Prince's hot chicken. They got Bolton's hot chicken. They got country music. Shout out to all the Hicks out there. They got Husk. Shout out to Baxter. Shout out to Biscuit Slut.
What's Biscuit Slut?
Biscuit Slut.
What is that?
This is my buddy Nate down there.
His name's Biscuit Slut?
His name is Biscuit Slut on Instagram. Follow Biscuit Slut.
At Biscuit Slut?
Yeah!
Why do you call him Biscuit Slut, though? He just loves
himself.
biscuits?
He loves making vinegar, too. So I don't understand why he's called Biscuit Slut, because all he talks about is he makes all his own vinegars and shit.
What about Vinegar Hoe?
Vinegar Hoe? I don't know. That's not nice.
What? Biscuit Slut? Vinegar Hoe?
Vinegar Hoe, maybe. I'm not going to back that one.
I mean, he could make shirts and shit.
He could make shirts.
All right.
To Biscuit Slut?
Two more, brother, and you're out of here, man. For someone who is pretty much at the top of the game when it comes to cooking, what motivation do you have to keep on going? What are you still trying to achieve, man? Seems like you're doing it all.
I'm nowhere close to the top of my game, I hope. If I'm close to the top of the game, then I'm not doing good. So I'm at the beginning. I'm at literally the beginning. All of this shit is so new.
Entertainment-wise, though. I mean, as a chef, you own your own restaurants.
Yeah, sure, but it's still like I got so much room to grow. I got, I could be a better boss. I could be, a better chef. You're always learning. Like it's like you could do jujitsu forever and still not know everything.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And I think it's like that kind of shit. It's a craft. I can, and I haven't been cooking for about a year and a half. So I'm like, I'm dog shit. I'm not even good at cooking right now.
Does your wife make you cook at home?
She doesn't make me do anything.
Do you like to cook at home? Like, are you the guy that cooks dinner? Like, hey, babe, we're having fried chicken.
Yeah, she's got some of her special. I love some of her.
She can cook.
Oh, she can cook like a motherfucker. And then I cook a lot. I love cooking at home because it's just like it's good and especially now that Matt can eat stuff. So like we'll roast chicken or make some soup or do shit like that. Make meatloaf. I don't know. Make meatloaf. I don't make meatloaf, but like make stuff.
I like meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
I'll try your meatloaf.
Respect.
Respect. Shout out to meatloaf.
Shout out to meatloaf.
Shout out to meatloaf, everybody. All right, last one, man. What is it like as a recovering addict being around such good beer and wine in professional cooking and eating settings? Like, are you tempted by a lot of it?
I think I do, I miss everything. But I like being I choose not to drink the best wines in the world. I have opportunities often to drink the best wine in the world, and I do miss that. I miss drinking some really nice.
So you're
wine.
completely sober. You do no
yeah,
alcohol.
No,
alcohol,
nothing. Nothing.
Dang, good for you, man.
I got to get off the cigs though.
Give me on a patch. You were smoking a cigarette when I met you.
I got to get off that. I'm fat. I'm gonna die.
Well, I don't know if the cigarettes are making fat.
No, I know
they have no calories.
They have 0 calories,
and they're also a suppressant, I think.
I don't know. Make me weak.
It's not gonna help your cardio though, bro.
My cardio is not strong. I'll tell you that. If I had to, have a run away from some cops or something,
or a polar bear.
If a polar bear, dude, we went. Okay, polar bear story, quick. There's no polar bear in this story, but we went to get a shot and do this. It was kind of snowing. We were out in the Arctic. And we saw some big rocks, and we had to go and climb, and we had those. You have these big long sticks, and you poke down to see if the ice is, because the snow can be soft, and then there's maybe no fucking ice.
Sure.
So you have to poke down to the ice. So we had to climb up this thing we wanted to do a cool. You know how I do that yelling thing? I'm like, yo, what's up, I'm Matty Matheson. I'm fucking here, and I'm a fucking idiot. So you do that, but it was we were gonna get the sick background, and we went up to this thing, and all of a sudden I'm like why? What's with all these seal skeletons up here? And then the guy we're with, Jerry, or we were with Unguti. Unguti was just oh, there's probably polar bears around here. And I was just like, hey man, I was just my dude, why did you say that? It just took us 45 minutes of me hiking up fucking a snow mountain, and you're about to be oh yeah, there could be polar bears up here, and you have a shitty 22. I'm just yo, where's the grenades at? I don't know. I'm just why don't... If I see a polar bear, it's gonna fucking eat us.
You're the one they're going for
it's
too,
my man. It's the biggest, largest fucking land
game
animal, isn't
over,
it? Polar bear.
Son.
He's yo, you're making my ice melt, motherfucker, driving around in your goddamn truck.
They're mean too.
Oh, I don't know.
They're mean as shit.
They're mean.
Shout out to polar bears.
Love polar bears.
They can find obviously on Viceland. The show's Dead Set on Life. Oh. Season 3 coming up.
Season
2. Season 2.
We're on season 2. We're not.
I'm being optimistic. I'm hoping for 10 seasons.
I'm sure there's gonna be a
season 2 now.
Billions.
You're gonna have 100 seasons. You're gonna be about 1,000 years old.
Yeah, Seinfeld 2 coming for you.
Season 2 right now on Viceland. Dead Set on Life at Matty Matheson.
Instagram, yeah, follow my ass.
Boom, follow him. Hit him up.
You'll see pictures of me sitting on the toilet a lot of naked selfies on the toilet, pictures of my kid, pictures of food. Really strong feed. Shout out to my feed.
Shout out to Matty Matheson feed. Brother, I can't thank you enough.
Yeah,
man.
buddy.
Thanks for coming on.